In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this the best year you ever had. Whether you're setting goals, whether you're wanting to achieve something you've never achieved before, or whether you've started things but haven't been able to finish, this is the video for you. I mean, whether it's fitness goals, whether it's going to be financial goals, relationship goals, business goals, just keeping up with AI, whatever it may be. In this video, I'm going to go over two things. I'm going to go over why people don't succeed when setting goals. And then I'm also going to give you just two steps, two simple steps to be able to finally make this the best year you ever had. Listen, my name is Chesco. Welcome to the Perspective Pause. This is a live stream that we do every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And the goal of this video is really just to change the way you're looking at things. I mean, the reason why we don't achieve the things that we want to achieve in life is probably because of the things that we've been doing for a while. I like to say that if you continue to do more of what's not working, it's not going to automatically start working. So if you're tuning on the live here, I just want to say I appreciate you. If you're watching this afterwards, come check us out on the live. It's a great experience. And but in this video, without any further ado, I just want to help you be able to have the best year you ever had. And I think it all starts with really people thinking that they need something that they're missing to get to the next level in life. But I like to say that it's nothing that you need more to grow. It's something that you actually need to let go. Now, making this video today, it's actually the last day of 2025. It's New Year's Eve. And I felt like it was really strong for me to look back on my life and say, what were some of the things that I did through my own experiences and that I've learned and applied that have caused me to see success in certain areas? Now, when I say success in certain areas, I'm talking about just about anything, whether it be, like I said before, financially, relationally, um, fitness goals, whatever the case is, right? But what I want to do is kind of break down goal setting because, see, the stats show that like only 9% of people, 9% of the people that set goals. Listen, there's already a strong percentage of people that don't. I mean, the stats show that 30% of people set goals for a new year, right? Only 30% of people set goals for a new year. And out of those 30% of people, only 9% of them achieve results. And I don't believe that it's really that difficult. I think that we make it difficult because we think it's something that we need to grow, but it's actually something that we need to let go. And what do we need to let go? Maybe the way that we've been taught our whole life when it comes to setting goals. You know, I think, well, I'm not going to say I think, I'm going to say I've experienced, right? I've experienced success in areas of my life that have caused me to reflect on how did I get here, right? I always believe that we need to take a moment and have some self-reflection because momentum means nothing if we're going in the wrong direction. And so if we can reflect on how we got somewhere, we can actually reverse engineer what it took to get there. So before I really dive in, I just want to say, anybody watching this, about 30% of the people that are watching the videos, actually 35% of people that are watching these videos are not subscribed. So what I'd like to ask you to do is to go ahead and take a moment now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and click the notifying bell. So then that way, whenever we do go live, you'll be notified in the future. Because I do believe these videos are really going to be the way to give you a new lens at looking at things. I don't believe that we need a new life. I believe that we need a new lens. And today I'm going to give you a new lens on how to set goals in a way that's actually going to feel like you can get it done, but then also the blueprint to achieving that. Because see, the thing is that 30% of people set goals. By week 1 in January, 23% of people actually quit them. By the end of January, 43% of people have quit. And by mid-February, 80% of people fail. They've quit. And I don't think that it's anything else but how we are setting the goals. And, you got people out there that are saying, new year, new me, right? Then you got people on the other side that are saying, oh, you're going to start New Year's resolutions. You should have started already. Well, that's not too helpful or inspirational. I think that if you set a goal for yourself or a New Year's resolution for yourself, I think it's a great thing because you're making a decision to change. You're making a decision to grow. The problem is that when we go back to the people that aren't making those decisions to grow, and they continuously say things like, "Oh yeah, you're really going to do that? Don't you know that people make New Year's resolutions and they don't succeed when they actually set them?" And those are the people you want to stay away from. You only want to be around people that are going to say, "Hey, listen, even if you were to miss a day, you keep going." You want to get around people that are looking at things through a positive lens, right? So let's just get into this video without any further ado, because I believe this is going to blow your mind. I believe this is going to change the way that you look at goal setting, and I also believe that it's going to finally help you achieve the goals that you've been setting out for a very long time. And what I'd love you to do is in the video, if you are in the comment section, if you want to write down or comment exactly what is your goal for the year. And then you can come back in a year from now, and by applying the principles in this video, you'll be able to see that you actually achieve them. It'd be really cool for you to write or comment the actual goal that you have set for yourself. And this is going to be really cool because it's not going to be something that you've probably seen before. So when we talk about setting goals, right? There's one thing, right? We do, right? We think about a destination, right? We think about a destination. So what's the destination, right? So let's write that down. So number one, we think of a destination. Oh, we don't have the iPad up here. Hold on a second. Again, this is a live. This is completely live, and I'm using my iPad to draw. This happened last week too. I need to create a SOP and get this done. Let's see. I believe it's going to work. We're going to get it done. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so destination. Destination versus, I'm going to tell you what we're going against in a second here. So when we think of, and that's kind of small, right? Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger than that, so we can kind of see what we're doing here. So we have destination. Come on, whiteboard. Destination goals. You have something called a destination goal, right? So that's going to be a place that you want to, that's going to be your dream outcome, right? It's going to be where you want to go, right? So let's say, for instance, you're a business and you are a realtor, right? Your destination goal may be to close, let's say, 30 homes this year, right? Let's say you want to close 30 homes this year. And if we break that down, that's probably about what? About 2.5, close to 3 homes a month, right? And a lot of people, this is how they set goals, right? They'll say, I'm going to, oh man, my screen keeps going out. What are we doing? All right, come on now. Let's use the Face ID, buddy. All right. I apologize for this. Come on. Okay. So a destination goal would be like, hey, we want to have, let's say, let's just make this easy in round numbers, right? So a destination goal would be something like, I want to close 24 homes in 1 year. So if you break that down, that's going to be what? 2 homes per month. And if you break that down, that's going to be 1 home biweekly. Okay, cool. This is a destination goal, right? This is something that we design for ourselves to reach a certain place, which would be the place where we say that we close 24 homes this year, which will be 2 homes per month, which would be 1 home biweekly, right? 1 homes. Okay. Anyway, 1 home biweekly. All right. So this would be a destination goal. This is probably what you've been doing your whole life. And part of the reason why you've probably been setting destination goals your whole life is because even if you're in sales and you're good at sales, you know that you don't sell the tool, you sell the destination. You sell the dream outcome. You sell the end result. So you've been selling the end result to other people, but that's not the type of thing that you want to sell yourself. What are you talking about, Chesco? What do you mean? I mean this. Your destination is not a goal. Your destination is not a goal. What is it? It's a tool, right? Your destination is not a goal. It's a tool. So if the destination is not a goal and it's a tool, what does that really mean, right? Well, that means that basically when you think about where you want to go, you're actually just using that as a tool to find out what you need to do. Because the destination isn't going to reach itself because you wrote it down. The destination is not going to reach itself because you wrote it down. And maybe, am I on low power mode? Yeah, I am. Maybe that's why. All right. So the destination is not going to reach itself because you wrote it down, because you have to think about what's the activity to get me there. So if you were going to have a goal this year for your fitness to drop 20 pounds, right? If you write down that I want to drop 20 pounds, which is going to break me down, we'll just say 24 pounds. This is the easiest way to break it down, right? So if you want to lose 24 pounds, you would have to lose 2 pounds a month, right? Which makes it sound really doable. But the real question is, how is it doable? How do you get there? It's the complete opposite when we're selling things to other people. Because when we're selling things to other people, if you were in doing vacation home sales or vacation sales, right? You wouldn't be selling the airline. You'd be selling the destination. You'd be selling what it feels like. Because good salespeople, they sell the destination. Great salespeople actually sell the feeling. But that's only when you're selling things to other people. Now, when you visualize, you can take the time to visualize the feeling of what it's going to feel like when you close 24 homes in a year. You can visualize what you have to do to get there. But when you close your eyes, you're actually doing the visualization. But when you open your eyes, you need to get into reality, which means you have to set delivery goals. Okay. So we have a destination goal. Now, when we look at this, we think about the location. So that's kind of like a map, right? It's kind of like a map. Like so you guys follow me there? So when we think about the destination, right? So let's go back to that, right? So you got the destination. We put goal, but it's not a goal. It's a tool, right? We have to focus on what's called the delivery goal. Man, this is so good. This is so good. I mean, this is so good when you think about this. Like, this is literally going to give you the blueprint to actually being finally successful. Because too many times we've been focused on where we're going to go, but we don't think about how we're going to get there. Right. So a destination goal is like a tool. So what I would say is maybe we can do this. Right. So I would say like maybe draw it like this. Right. I don't know. Oh man, here we go. All right. All right. I'm not going to try to get too crazy on this. I want to make sure that this is extremely valuable. So what we'll say is that like so this is literally a map, right? And this map will show us things like, I don't know, let's just put like a palm tree here, right? And we'll do like a beach, right? But when we think about this, right, we got a map here. Then we'll do let's say we'll draw a bike here, right? Um uh, don't mind me here. I just want to make sure it looks like a bike and we'll be good. Pedal. That's not so bad, actually. All right, so we got a bike here. And then we have a map here. I don't know if you guys are following me so far. If you're following me, drop a rocket in the chat or some flames in the chat if you're following me here. So what we want to do is focus on this because today, vehicle. This is more of the ambition. So when you hear people talk about like 10x goals, that's one thing for you to focus on the actual goal. It's another thing for you to focus on the actual vehicle and how you're going to get there. Because too many people set goals and they say, you know what, I'm going to reach this place, but they don't even know how to get there. They don't know how to get there. So before we even talk about the steps to achieving what you need to achieve, we have to talk about goal setting. Too many of us have been doing this the old-fashioned way, which I would say that, to be honest with you, this would be like the old lens. We'll just call it the old lens. And we'll say that this is the new lens. So, like I've told you numerous times, is that you don't need a new life. You just need a new lens. Right? All right, cool. I appreciate you. I see you in the chat. All right, cool. Somebody's here with me. Let's go. The destination goal for me is to reach as many people as possible to help them shift their perspective. So like YouTube, for instance, for me, for a goal for 2026 for YouTube, it's a very stretched goal, but I'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers in 2026. Now that's the destination goal. What is the delivery goal? Because I can't control whether I get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube this next year, but I can control my activity to see what's been working thus far. What's been working this far? Well, you need to be tracking. If you're not actually looking at your numbers and your analytics of how you got where you are, you won't know how to get where you want to go. So again, my goal for 2026 is to have a certain amount of subscribers. I can't control the amount of subscribers that are going to come my way, but I can control the activity that I put into play. Come on now. So my bicycle is showing up every single Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. to deliver value with just the intention to change somebody's perspective, to give them a minute to pause, to really start looking at things a different way, right? The vehicle is just showing up. The vehicle is the activity, right? So the vehicle is me being able to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do to put into play to be able to make sure that whatever, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like I've said it a million times, like you can't control the timing, but you can control the grinding, right? Like we're responsible for the grinding. God is responsible for the timing. So it's up to us to be able to choose the right vehicle that's actually going to make some progress. Because how many times have you guys heard practice makes, here, let me come to this screen really quick. You've probably all heard this before. Practice makes what? I see in the chat, somebody put perfect. No, it's not perfect. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's not perfect. It's progress. It's progress. The only time that we're shooting for perfection is usually when we're feeling self-rejection. What does that mean? It means that we're not happy with our current situation. We're not understanding that the journey is the destination. And we're focused on a destination goal instead of a delivery goal. God controls your destination. You control whether you deliver or not. You control whether you show up or not. So if I'm going to make a video every single week and show up, right? And then every single day I drop a short, because I dropped a short yesterday that got me 3 new subscribers. So what is that telling me? The data is telling me that I need to go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing because it's working. It just takes some time. Now, I'm not getting caught up in the subscribers. I mean, I got 70, which is dope, and I'm super excited about that, right? But I'm more focused on how did I get that? And the problem is that when we see other people that have what we want or they're extremely successful in a lane that we want to be successful in, we focus on what they're doing now instead of what they actually did to get where they are. Now, in order to see that somebody is actually really who they say they are, check their fruits, right? Check the results that they've created in other people's lives, the impact that's been built in others to see how somebody has done and what they've done. Like you want to check their fruits, but don't check your fruits. So again, when we're selling things to others, we focus on the destination, the dream outcome, the feeling it gives them. But to us, we don't. To us, we sell the tool, the activity, the delivery, and let God handle the rest. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not anywhere near where I thought I would be. But in some aspects of my life, I'm super excited about where I am. In some areas, I'm like, man, this isn't what I had planned. But I see how God put me through things to get to things that I never even had in my mind that have blown my mind. So the more you try to control your future of where you're going to go, the less you even give the opportunity for God to sit into your schedule. Because if your schedule is full of your destination goal, how can God even find his way to be inside of it? Because you're really just like stiff arming the Holy Spirit to get out of your life to help you, guide you to where you want to go. Hopefully, this is making some sense to you guys. So, I believe that when it comes down to looking at others and seeing what others have achieved and what others have established in their life, we have to make sure that we check their fruit, but we only focus on our root. So, don't check the timing of your fruit. Pick up the hose and continue to water your root because there's a shoot between the root and the fruit, and you can't grow through that shoot if you walk away from nurturing the root. And what is the root? The root is your activity goal. The root is your activity goal, the delivery goal. So, coming back to that, right? So, we have our destination goal, which is the old lens that people will say, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, this is where I want to be. This is my end result. That's not going to help you get there. It's going to give you a visualization of where you want to go, which is great. But when you do that, it's a tool. It's not a goal, it's a tool. You're using your future dream outcome and destination as an actual tool to propel you to think about what is the activity that I have to do today? What do I have to deliver today to be able to give myself the best chance at getting to that destination? I'd love to hear you guys in the chat what some of your goals are and where you're wanting to go this year. But more importantly, I'd rather hear about what you have to do every day. What do you have to do every day? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. Here's the thing that nobody tells you, right? Is that if you were to do the delivery goal every day, the activity goal every day, you would 10x your destination. But the problem is that we think about this destination as, hey, I'm gonna get there. And I looked at some numbers today, and I'm like, you know what? If I make this sale, I'm getting closer to my destination. When in all reality, you really don't want to check your numbers until you know exactly what the activity was to achieve the number. So, and I don't know, that might not make sense to y'all. So what I'm saying is, like, for instance, I was with a client yesterday, right? And we were mapping out his goals for his year. I was doing some consulting with a client, and we were breaking it down or doing reverse engineering on exactly the number that he wanted to achieve and how much he had to do per month and how much he had to do per day. And I said, how does that make you feel? And he said, man, I feel good. I feel organized. I feel like I know where I'm going. And I'm like, great. So how are we going to get there? And he looked at me and he was like, Well, I mean, do more of what we've been doing. I said, if you keep doing more of what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting more of what you've been getting. You don't get out of life what you want or what you feel you deserve. You get out of life who you are. So it's all about becoming somebody that's willing to do the delivery of the daily activities. But what are the daily activities? That's the real question you have to ask yourself. If you don't know what you're supposed to be doing every single day, then you don't even know where you're going to end up. And you'll never hit that destination goal. But there is not a destination goal, it's a destination tool. So when you think about setting goals, now I'm going to get into the two steps that you need to this is the first step. The first step is goal setting. You're setting goals wrong. You're setting goals like the other, 92% of people that fail. But there's a small 8% of people that achieve their goals every single year. Now, granted, only 30% of people even set goals at all. So if you're sitting on this video right now, then you have a growth mindset, and there's a good chance that you're setting yourself up for success in 2026. But you can't focus on where you're going to go. You got to focus on how you're going to grow daily, the activity, how many calls. This is what I'll say, right? So I was drawing this illustration here I want to share with you guys, which is really cool, is that when you think about, let's say, we talked about real estate. I'll just keep using that as an analogy. And we want to, 24 homes we want to close, right? I see somebody in the chat. One of my financial goals is to pay off 10K of debt in the first quarter. Let's go. So how are you going to do that? That's the question, right? So that's a destination goal. I see the chat talking about destination goals. What is the activity goal? What is the delivery goal? What are you going to do? What are your daily activities and habits that are going to help you get to where you need to go? That's the real question. So to anybody that's just tuning in right now, I just want to show you really quick. We were going over, I'll show you this really fast. We were going over the difference between destination goals and delivery goals. You might want to go back to the beginning of this video to really see exactly what that means. Because the destination is going to give you the ambition, but it's not going to help you get there. Today's vehicle will. So anyway, so going back, let me go to here, right? So real estate, we want to close 24 homes in a year. We broke it down to 12 homes a month. I'm not going to do that again. What I'm going to do is say that, is this a, like, I don't think I put enough emphasis on the sales aspect, like 24 homes. So, if we want to sell others, we talk about the destination. If we want to sell ourselves, we talk about the delivery. And this, I don't know, this may be going over your head. I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys are really can catch this. I don't know. Drop some rockets and flames in the chat if you can catch this. But like, if you're setting a goal, because I've never seen anybody explain it like this before. That's why. So it's not like I saw somebody teach this and they're actually taught me this, and now I'm going to teach you this. This is something that I lived and I taught others, which caused me to end up becoming a general manager of the year in 2014 for a large corporate company at 700 stores. And I helped everybody understand that when you think about sales and you think about goal setting, you have to focus on selling yourself one thing and then selling others another thing. So if we're in real estate, we want to sell 24 homes this year. That means what? 2 a month, right? But if we want to sell to others, we sell them the destination. How's it going to feel in the home with your family? And you're going to sell some homes. But that is the actual delivery. So when you think about the destination that you're selling others, what you're doing to help people see the destination is actually your delivery. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Like what you're doing for others, the dream outcome that you're providing to others, how you're explaining it to them is actually your delivery. What do I mean by that? I don't know if you're paying attention. I don't know if you can catch that, right? Somebody caught that in the chat. Caught that. I don't know if you caught that. Because when you think about your delivery, It all boils down to one of my favorite things. What is the delivery, right? You may be asking yourself that. Well, when I'm thinking about service based entrepreneurs, like somebody in real estate, I would then say, okay, well, you have to communicate. So, communication equals compensation. Communication equals compensation. What does that mean? That means that your delivery equals talking to others. Okay, so your goal of hitting 24 homes has to come down to doing what? How many homes did it? How many homes? Like, how many people did you have to talk to sell a home? We see debt free. The chat said, I want to be debt free. I want to buy my first home of many, maintain my spiritual and health breakthrough. That's great. That's still a destination goal. Somebody else said, what do I have to do? I have to set some automations, pay a non negotiable percentage, reduce unnecessary spending. And in this case, I have to monitor my financial behavior. That's good. We're getting somewhere. That's good. That's good. We're getting somewhere. But I would take it a step further and just say, what is one thing you have to do every day? So reduce unnecessary spending. How much were you spending every single day that was actually harming you from reaching this goal? What put you in debt? Do the opposite. You know, we think to ourselves, hey, I need to go to the gym if I want to go ahead and lose weight. But your weight loss journey starts in the kitchen. So what is in your kitchen that you need to eliminate to be able to make sure you're setting yourself up for success? Because it isn't like, hey, I want to go do more. You have to first take away. Like, I think the problem with us looking for shooting goals in 2026 is that we're thinking, okay, what more do I need to do? The problem is that you're doing too much. Pause. Yeah. So if we need to really understand how that works, we would then have to say something like the equation for 2026 would be this 2026 math equation. I don't know how many of you guys like math, but this is what it would be. It would be U plus less equals more. I like how you guys in the chat are helping each other out and talking about this because it's definitely more of a community thing than anything. I mean, like, in order for us to achieve our goals, listening to this isn't going to help. It's going to be finding other people that are like on this video, like all you guys here that want to be able to do better. So it's like, what are we doing to help each other? And sometimes when we help each other come up with some type of strategy, it allows us to start being able to see things differently on how we can help ourselves. So, not spending. So, we had somebody on here that said that, not spending. And see, the issue is this, right? Is that we end up wanting to achieve the goal immediately when the problem, we want the solution in our life. Like let me say this. We want a solution in our life immediately, although it took us years to create the problem. Like, so many people are in the credit repair space that I see. Maybe the algorithm, it shows me a lot because they're entrepreneurs. And a lot of them talk about speed, right? They talk about speed. I can fix your credit in 30 days. I can go ahead and fix your credit in 60 days. Now, I'm not trying to be the person that's out here as the online entrepreneur snitch, but I will say that a bunch of them, when you get into their programs, they're doing things that are unethical, like saying things happen to you that never happened to you. And I don't know. I think that, is that okay? I don't know. Maybe that's okay for you. Maybe that's okay when you say, hey, I want my credit repaired. I want my credit repaired fast. Okay, well, we could do it fast, but you have to give up some integrity to do that. Well, that's okay. Nobody's going to know that I said that, my identity was taken from me. And, I lost a family member and I'm homeless to fix my credit. Nobody's going to care, right? I'm just going to say that kind of stuff. I mean, some of your favorite online entrepreneurs that say they're making all of this money online by doing credit repair are lying to, as much as they can to get it, but you don't call it lying. You just call it a strategy. And lying is still lying, although you change the word from lying to strategy. Because here's the thing, right? Like, it's like I was talking to a friend the other day, and he goes, well, how come you don't smoke weed anymore? And I said, well, I don't see what's good about it. He's like, well, what's wrong with it? I said, I don't see what's good about it. I don't see what's good about it. And this may be a little deep and far fetched, but I was like, would you go into a church and smoke weed? And he was like, no. I said, then why would you do it outside of a church? Because we don't go to church just to be with God. God's everywhere. So when you're going to a person to fix your credit in 30 days and, oh, this person made all this money, they got Lambos and a bunch of houses and they got all these people and students and they're making all this money. But like I said in the last video, just because somebody's making money, all day doesn't mean they're doing it the right way and running the integrity play. Because I know that a lot of people are going to get caught up just signing paperwork for things that they were told to sign because they didn't actually read the contract. And I don't want to be caught up in that, because when you think about it, just because somebody called it a strategy doesn't take away the fact that it's actually a lie. And I don't mean to get off track and stuff like that, but I just want you to be careful in 2026, is because you plus less equals more. Less chasing, less watching other people, less seeing what other people are doing, because just because they have success in their life does not mean that they're actually doing it with integrity. And that's a conversation they got to have with God. And it's not at the end of their life. Like everybody says, I'll wait till the end of my life. And when I have that conversation with God, hopefully he says to me, good job, well done, faithful servant. That's cool. But like, you're acting like he's not here right now. Like you got all this time in the world to get your life together. When in the Bible, it also says that Jesus is coming back and nobody knows the time nor the day. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. So when you think about getting your life together, just think about it. If you did things the way it said in Proverbs now, your life would start looking better sooner. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and run this play, and I know it's not what I should be doing, but so many other people are doing it, and they're getting results. Well, what are results in your life? What does success mean to you? So as we talked about destination goals and delivery goals, you need to ask yourself, what is success to you? And the reason why you may not be successful is because you're following these things that people say. Now, I understand that we want to get right in all of the areas of our lives, but you got to start with one. You can't just wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to get better in my spiritual life. I'm going to get better in my financial life. I'm going to get better in my spirit, in my, in my business. Like if you pick all these different pillars and you say, hey, you know what, this year I'm going to go ahead and change everything. How can you change everything when you've never changed one thing? What transformation are you creating in one area and then compounding that to something else? So I want to give you something right now that's going to be super valuable, because a lot of you guys want to get success right away, when a lot of the times, it's not being done the right way. Let's face it, right? I mentioned this briefly in the last video, but I think it's really cool to bring this up again. When I went through a divorce in 2017, I was suicidal, went down a crazy path, and somebody told me to start working out. They said, go to the gym, get your physical life in order, and everything will follow, right? And so I started to, and I went to the gym. And when I was in the gym, I saw a bunch of people that looked like they just got off of work from the WWE. And when I saw all these people, I was like, man, these people are jacked up. They are definitely in great shape. So what are they doing? Well, you know what? Let me see what they're doing. Let me see what they got going on. Oh, he's lifting those weights. He's lifting those weights. Oh man, she's even man. Look at that. Like they're doing all these things to be in great shape, right? So what happened there? I said I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to go ahead and lift those weights too. What's he got? A 40-pound weight over there? All right, let me go ahead and grab that 40-pound weight. All right, cool. I start lifting. I start doing my thing. I'm feeling okay. But after about a month of doing that, what happened? I ended up tearing my stomach apart. What are you talking about tearing your stomach apart? I got an inguinal hernia. Not only one, but I got two. And I asked the doctor, I said, where did this come from? And he said, from putting too much stress on your body, from wanting to probably fix your problem too fast. And I was like, fix my problem too fast. He was like, yeah, well, you said that somebody was telling you that if you got in shape, you would fix your mindset. And I said, yeah. And you started lifting some of the heavier weights and you didn't have a good mentor to kind of guide you on what you should be doing. And I was like, yeah. He's like, did you have any type of physical trainer? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, what were you doing? And I said, well, I was just following what they were doing. And then he looked at me and goes, well, that's why you got hurt. So as you walk into 2026 and you see other people doing things, get back in the Bible, pray to God, and discern if this is even on the right path for you. What is success for you? Because I'm telling you now, with the way AI is and everything, in 2026, everything's going to look perfect. Like perfection's going to be everywhere. You're not going to know what's real and what's not real. People using, Nano Banana Pro and Kling 2.6 in Higgsfield to be able to create a tech stack that allows you to pretty much take your ideas and bring them into reality, and you can do just about anything you want. I mean, this is how I'm making my thumbnails. And I make and like a lot of the things that I'm doing right now, I'm leveraging AI to help me. But there's a lot of people that are actually using AI as their brain. And then they're telling you to follow them when there was only one person that said, follow me, that you should probably listen to. Anyway, so sorry, I feel like I got off track. So I just wanted to say that because it's like the people that are in some of these industries, what they do is they'll tell you straight up, like, hey, I can fix your problems quick. I can fix your problems fast. And we do live in a microwave mindset mentality world, so everybody will take the bait on, yes, if this is going to fix my problem fast, then let me go ahead and try this out. Although not even knowing that these people are showing you one side of their life when the rest of their life is in shambles. Because a lot of these people that you see successful online, they're performing. And you're comparing your reality to their performance. Their performance. When behind the scenes, you're a much better dad. You're a much better mother. You have a way better relationship with God. The only thing that a lot of these people have that you don't is money. But I'm here to tell you, that's the only thing they have. Because emotionally and spiritually and relationally, they're bankrupt. Anyway, okay, cool. Side note, let's get back to work. So I want to draw a little illustration to help you because there's the 2 steps for success. Here we are. And I want to get into this because we got to go. We it's New Year's Eve, y'all. Super excited to be with y'all. Let me go into the chat real quick here. So we got he said big cap, help us. Yeah, hey, listen, man, got to be careful out in these streets. It's crazy. Shelly, she said, schedule 2 speaking engagements per month. Be the online informant. Hey, man, I'm not trying to be the guy that's like steering people, like away from. I mean, but we kind of have to. And I told you before. I told everybody on this channel before. These videos are designed to be helpful for my daughters when I'm no longer here. My kids, when I'm no longer here, I want them to come somewhere and be able to understand how to set goals, how to not be distracted by these fake gurus. And 3, I want them to learn what I'm about to teach you. So let's go. Shelly said their slogan for 2026 is not easy. Fix, be fully equipped in 2026. It's not an easy fix. The only reason everything is difficult is because we put so much on our plate. Anyway, so let's get into this last little illustration. I kind of drew this up here because this is going to be your uh your visual for this year too. Um, let me ask you a quick question. If I gave you $1 million right now, right? Let me reframe the question. And just really think about this, right? If I gave you a penny today with a strategy on how to invest it for 30 days, or I gave you $1 million today, which one would you choose? Which one would you choose? Now, a lot of people may think this is a trick question. It's not. It's just a real question. It's just that you kind of need to know where I'm going, I guess, where I'm going with this question. But if a penny doubled every day for 30 days, where do you think it would end up? Because so many people are focused on the $1 million right now. Let me take the result right now. When they could actually build something with small steps that's even far, far greater. Why can't we get the million? Listen, so this is what I want to ask you guys, right? Is that you have, would you rather take $1 million today, or would you rather take a penny that's going to double every day for 30 days? Let me show you this. The penny versus the million. This is really good. This is going to teach you guys something for 2026 to really think about this. The penny versus the million, right? So you got option A. And then you got option B. Right? Now, what we got here? Let's see if I can do this. Right? You got all this money here, right? Option A. 1 million today. 1 million today. Right? $1 million today. All right. This is what we want, right? Fast results. We want flashy success. It's completely tempting, right? This is what we want. We want flashy success. We want it right away. We want $1 million today. That's what everybody is shooting for. Try to get what they want as fast as possible. But you know what's crazy is, like, if you don't become the person that can keep it, you're going to lose it just as fast. That's another conversation for another time. But now the penny, right? You got, let's say, doubles for, let's use the same color here. Doubles for 30 days. All right. Day one, 1 penny. That's a joke. That's a joke, right? What are we going to do with a penny? We got day 5. We got 16 cents, right? They got day 10, $5.12. Still kind of feels like nothing, right? Still feels like nothing. Then you have day 20. $5,242. We're starting to get somewhere, but we're still like really far behind, right? But that's when the compounding kicks in, right? That's when the compounding really kicks in. And you start to see money. I'm just going to put it everywhere because it's starting to pile up. This is what we see all over the place. We're focused on trying to get somewhere so fast. But if we would just take the small steps, we will start to realize that we can have so much more if we started out small. If we started out small, the reason why you're not going to hit your goals in 2026 is if you're shooting for trying to hit the home run in a day, trying to make $1 million today. Now, granted, you're going to see a lot of people that'll talk about it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money in a long period of time, which could possibly be true for some people. Is it possible for everybody? Sure. But can it happen tomorrow for everybody? Probably not. Because the small, consistent delivery activities are going to be far greater on a return than you receiving something immediately. And you become the person along that journey to be able to keep it. So when you think about day 30, this is crazy. From day 20, $5,242 continues to compound. Day 30, you have $5,368, or I'm sorry, $5,368,709. This is interesting because this is an illustration about how far you will be able to get next year if you just consistently think about starting small and then you get started. So the 3 steps to success in 2026 are: set your goals properly, get started, but then stay consistent, even when it doesn't feel like it's working. Because the penny didn't start to get any traction till like day 10, but you really didn't see anything exciting until day 20. And then in the last 10 days, it continued to compound to $5,368,709. Delayed gratification will be the secret to your success in 2026. Chat said, no one wants the discipline of the later. That's the whole message. Well, I think it's more of a factor of asking ourselves, do you want what everybody else has? Or do you want to be the best version of yourself? And I think that until we realize that our voice, our fingerprint, and everything that we have ever been created by God has always been something different than anybody or anything else. And when we actually take on the understanding of the journey being the destination, you finally have peace in your life. Peace, like peace. So, yes, the discipline of later. There's so many analogies we can go into about that. But it's more important just to ask yourself a real question. Is what I've been doing working? And when am I going to take my life serious enough to say that I'm going to go ahead and get started today? So anyway, but that's besides the point. So hopefully that helps, right? Because I think that there's a few other things that I want to discuss for the sake of time. We're kind of running out of time here, but I think that like it goes back down to the last thing I'll talk about. And I talk about this a lot because our destination goal is going to give us clarity of where we want to go. But here's the thing, it's not going to get us started. It's the action that gets us started. So you may have seen me talk about this before in another video, but I'm going to talk about it once again. We got to go back to the basics. Got to go back to our ABCs. Back to our ABCs. And too many of us have it CBA as if we don't understand our alphabet. Because too many of us think that clarity brings action. It's not. Clarity brings action. It's the ABCs. Action brings clarity. And most of us want to build a massive business, but you're not going to be able to build a business bigger than you're willing to build yourself. The chat, Shelly, Job 87. Your beginning will seem so small since your future will flourish. Yes. So I'm gonna leave you with a few more things here that I'm gonna tell you really fast, and then we're out of here. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, if there's anything that you took from this video, I would definitely at least go back to the beginning of this video and watch the difference between a destination goal and a delivery goal, and understand that your destination goal is literally just a tool. I was going to show you some videos and other things like that, but I'm starting to realize that the format that I have for this this video and these live streams are definitely more of an interactive type of thing. So let's see here. Yeah, there was something here from The Alchemist. I don't know if you guys have ever read The Alchemist, but it's a story about it's a story about someone that's literally left their town to go find and achieve everything they ever wanted to achieve, right? And they came to realize that what was important is what was actually in their backyard, right? So let me say that again. Like there was a young man, and he traveled to achieve success in his life, to go achieve all of these things, and just all the things that he had in his mind that were the things that he believed that when he achieved, he would actually be happy. And it came to the end to realize that everything that really made him happy, he already had. Well, here's the kicker, because everybody says that. Everybody says that while you're shooting for success, the real things that matter the most are the things that you already have. But understand something. A lot of us have to go try to achieve all of those things to finally realize for ourselves that what we had was what mattered the most. See, too many of us try to tell others what they need to do with their lives and say, hey, listen, I know you're spending all that time doing all of these things and shooting for all of these goals, but what matters most is this. But that person has to go look for those things that they feel like are going to make them happy in life to finally realize what it is that does make them happy. So, as I say in 2026, the only way that you're going to be in that top 8 or 9% of people that achieve the goals that they have is that if you write the right goals. Because when it comes to the goals that you set out, you can't track the destination every single day, but you can track your delivery and your activity every single day. And by doing so, you'll see your progress. So you take a notepad, you take a planner. I use something called the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt. And there's a section in there for today's win every night. And it allows me to write down what the win was for the day, but I also created my own custom section to have my daily activities. And I have something that a lot of people don't do. A lot of things that I talk about in this channel are things that I do that have helped me tremendously. And I'll leave you with this last little nugget is that what's going to help you continue to accelerate is when you celebrate. Because I feel like when you celebrate, you can accelerate. And when you accelerate, you can elevate. And by doing so, create something called a did do list. We all have a to do list, right? So once we come up with our delivery goal of what it is that we have to do every single day, we write down what it is that we have to get accomplished. How many people I need to talk to, how many phone calls I need to make, how much content I need to put out. Whatever the case is, you have your activity goals. But then at the end of the day, from the left side, you have a to-do list. On the right side, you'll have a did-do list. Did I do those things? Because like James Clear said, and I don't want to butcher this up, but he said this in Atomic Habits. James Clear said in Atomic Habits that if you miss one day, that's a mistake. But if you miss 2 days, you're creating a new habit. You're creating a new habit of just not fulfilling what you said you were going to fulfill. And that's where the anxiety and depression and stress comes in, is when you actually have your to-do list and then your did-do list doesn't show that you did what you said you had to do. So on the left side, put the to-do list. Here, I'll draw this out for you really quick. And then we're out of here. This will be the last thing I show you. But this is going to be the thing that's going to separate you from really feeling the progress. Because again, when I said when we celebrate, we accelerate, and then we elevate. But the only way that happens is if we do this. So let's draw this line on the middle. So you got your delivery goal, right? You got your delivery goal. You got your destination tool plus your delivery goal will allow you to then create your to-do list. And a lot of us don't have the wrong list. We just have it in the wrong order. And what I'll say to that is that just pick 3 things. The 3 most critical tasks that you have to do. That way it gives you an opportunity to win. And win stands for what's important now. So when people say, hey, oh man, it's coming up down there. Sorry. But what's important now? That's what I wrote down there. And basically, let me do this so you can see it. You might want to screenshot this. This will change everything for you. Because once you start actually celebrating yourself for what you've done, you start building confidence because you did what you said you were going to do. So now you believe yourself. So now your belief goes up. And when your belief goes up, everything follows. The reason why we won't be successful is because we don't believe that we can. But the to-do list, what is that? You know, it could be simple. I'm just going to put 3 things down here, right? Drink 1 gallon of water. Make 50 calls. Then we'll say go to the gym. You know, maybe you're wanting to do better in those 2 areas of life, your physical and your business. It isn't a factor of how much money you're going to make today. It's going to be how many calls that you need to make, and that's going to bring in the revenue. It isn't going to be, am I going to go ahead and get fit? It's going to be, I need to drink a gallon of water and I need to go to the gym and I will be fit. The goal is not to get fit. The goal is not to make more money. The goal is the delivery goal. And the did-do list. Now here, you would just have 3 boxes. And through here, you're either going to say, yep, I did it. Yep, I did it. Yep, I did it. Which then will create happiness. Happiness is a choice, but I'm just saying this is going to give you energy, but you're going to become happier because of this. Happiness is going to happen. You're going to start to get results. But most importantly, confidence and belief is the biggest thing. Because when you believe in yourself, anything can happen. So, to-do list, did-do list. So, destination, goal, no longer. Destination goal, it's destination is what we sell others. The delivery is what we sell ourselves. Let me go back into this here, right? The destination is what we sell others. The delivery is what we sell ourselves, right? We sell them the dream outcome. But through the conversation that we had to explain to the dream outcome, the conversation is what we need to have on our delivery more. So we need to communicate. More communication equals more compensation. We talked about this, right? So go back to the beginning of this video and check that out, because the delivery goal for yourself is going to be, what do I need to do to obtain the destination? Because the destination is just a tool. The delivery is going to be the goals that we set out for ourselves. Then we have to know that we need to do it every single day. Because the two steps to seeing success in 2026 are get started and stay consistent, and eliminate anything that takes you away from those two things for the goals that you have set out for your life. Because your life this year plus less equals more. Now, that doesn't mean doing less like the whole, hey, I'm going to make more and do less and like what everybody are telling you. I'm talking about your actual schedule. Like opening your schedule to say, hey, you know what? Let me eliminate these things and do more of the things that are actually working. Because like I talked about with the client that I was sitting down with, if they said, I'm going to do more of what I did last year, you're just going to get more of what you got last year, which is probably high stress. And if you do more of what's not working, it isn't automatically going to start working in your life. So you have to do something different. And you don't need a new life. You just need a new lens. So change the lens that you're looking at setting your goals through. And I promise you, 2026 will be the best year that you absolutely ever had. So if you're just tuning into this for the first time, this is the Perspective Pause. We is a live stream that we go live every Wednesday with the goal of just understanding that we want to change the way we look at things and shift our mindset and have some self-reflection, because momentum means nothing if we're going in the right direction. I'm super grateful for everybody that was on today. Thank you for all the comments in the chat. Made us very engaging. But if you really pay attention to this video and the things that we talked about, everything will change for you. You just have to apply it. So today, I would say you did get some new information. But for the rest of the year, you don't need more information. You need more application. It's time to put these things in practice. Destination, not a goal, it's a tool. The delivery is the goal, which is most likely more communication, which is going to create more compensation. Do that every day. Celebrate yourself every single day for doing that. And I guarantee by the end of 2026, you won't even be able to recognize your life. And as you're doing these types of things, you may feel that feeling of failing. You may feel that feeling of, man, I don't know, how this is going to work. But I'll just say this. Do not fear failure. Fear being in the same place you are today, this time next year. Do not fear failure. Fear being in the same place this time next year. But if you take the principles that we talked about in this video and you apply them, that's impossible. I pray that you guys have a phenomenal day. And remember, you have to take ownership. You have to take action. And eventually you're going to take off. I'll see you next Wednesday on the Perspective Pause. Until then, Happy New Year. This year is going to be the best year we ever had. Comment below what your delivery goal is. And looking forward to seeing you guys next week. God bless y'all. Peace.